Hi, so do we have the new day on TryHackMe here? Advent of Cyber is going to be day 18. It's still cloud called Playing with Containers. I just scrolled it all through and I must say there's a lot of text for you guys to read today. Anyways, today box is about Docker. And Docker is a virtualization software that enables you to run containers or images becomes containers when you run them, and basically you can have any small virtual machine running there, like an instance of PHP, some special version. The Docker is extremely good for making sure that everyone has the same version, or if you want to make sure that in a development environment that we all use a specific type of software setup, well, you can do that by Docker. And then we all use the same software. That is really good. Anyways, if you read all of this, it is really good. But the premise is as following: Grinch Enterprises has been gloating about the attack on an underground forum. We know they were specifically targeting organizations in a campaign. They themed Advent of Cyber. What a frustrating coincidence. Tracing the users back over time, we also encountered a reference to using Amazon Web Service is Elastic Containers Registry ECR to store container images they use as infrastructure in their attacks. Let's see if we can find out more about the attack tooling Grinch Enterprises is using. So basically what we're going to do is I suggest you read the text, understand what's going on. But what we're going to do really is go down to this part here, around here, where they start talking about we can pull the latest Docker installation or file from the Docker repository, or the AVS repository, sorry. And you can see that this is the actual image, and the link to that is this one, I believe. And then we can pull down the latest repository from AVS. Anyways, not really sure what it contains. I haven't really read that much. It's let's see what we can get out of it. Let me just find out pretty fast. Do I have Docker installed? I do not have Docker installed, so I'm gonna do sudo apt get install Docker, and that's about it, I guess. Yes. And I'm gonna write Docker. Nope. Let's just see. Now we're also learning how to install Docker, it would seem. So I am. So let's remove the following additional package will be installed. VM Docker. So do we have Docker installed? Docker locate Docker. I should have Docker installed now. It would seem that I have not. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at this page. So we got to do a sudo apt get update first. If we don't have it installed already, just making sure we have all the latest possible package to install from. And we're gonna do this one. Alright then, and let's just do the like this, and after that we're gonna do this, and that should be the way to go. Now this is not a freshly installed of Linux Kali, but it's a very old one I have. I think it's probably 1.5 years old, so there's a really good chance that some of my software is not 100% up to date. And this also verifies that it is the first time that I'm doing Docker on this machine. So I would think it should be about done soon. A lot of text that doesn't make any sense just by looking at it. It's getting some software and so on and so on. I'm gonna pause the video. Alright, so it finished. Let's see what they want me to do now. Run this command. basically just running commands. No, it's not okay. I'm gonna recopy this, and I think I missed the S. So can I write Docker now? Docker. Alright, so we have Docker installed and we can begin the room. This is how you do it. I suggest you go to this link here. I'm gonna copy this link to my other screen and paste it into my video so you can see how to install Docker if you have not already installed it on your machine. So now we're gonna do is go ahead and download this image from AVS. So we're gonna create a folder. Let's just call it Admin Cyber 18. You know, I usually do not make folders, but I'm gonna pull denied sudo, and now it's running, taking its time. Alright, it's finished downloading, and the next thing it's going to tell us to do is to run this Docker command. So I'm gonna copy it and go straight to the terminal. So we're gonna run the command, and I just need to do sudo rights in front of it. So now we're gonna run the actual container. We can write, well, I think if you go to another terminal, clear and write Docker images, sudo in front of it. I can see that we have this running image here. It's called repository. It's the latest. That is the actual image, and it was created 8 weeks ago, and the size is 508 megabytes. That is probably the reason why it took a while to download. So it would seem that I have a command prompt. I could probably write ls, I guess. I cannot. Is it no Windows? Anyways, let's see what it's going to tell us here. So we can do ls. Okay, so I want to do like this. So we are seeing an empty, yeah, it's just some Linux system, it seems, and we are new user. So this is kind of similar now that we have a shell in the box. We need to find some information on this. Let's just imagine this is a server right now we're in. So let's go ahead and see what I wanted to do. And yes, anyways, a good place to check next environment variable is to print env. We can do that. So let's go ahead and just clear the screen. I cannot type clear. I can. It's like print env. And here we can see different kind of things like an API key. We can see our private directory, some path that we can execute command from, like the terminal, the home, and the host name, and that's about it. So the API key is probably something that they tell us that the Grinch didn't intend to leave behind, but now we kind of have it. So the bonus challenge is the container image is composed of a number of layers, perhaps, blah blah blah. And once an image is built running container images are built from source files such as Docker files. And that is true. So we need to probably do some things with these kind of things. So let's see. They want us to create an empty directory and save it as a tar file using the docker save output aoc.tar file using this latest repo. Not sure why they wanted to do it, so let's just see what is really the point of all this. Let's see, these files represent the various container names. Yes. Install JQ. Print the content of manifest in the terminal using JQ pretty print. Alright, so let's install JQ.y. So let's go ahead and Maybe I have it installed, I don't know. JQ, I do not. Sudo apt install JQY, which is, I guess this is a fast one. So yeah, JQ, I have that installed now. So now they want me to do stuff like what? Let's see, I wanted to cat out the manifest. Alright then. So we're gonna do what they suggest us here. So we're gonna go to this file here, and we do have a folder called AOC located there, and inside of that there's nothing. So let's just create a new folder called AOC. Wasn't really what I wanted it to be named. AODC. Removed. AODC, there we go. So let's make a directory called AOC, and they want us to go into it, and now they want us to do this command. Basically I'm gonna do that, just copy paste it, put it in, and sudo rights again, and just gotta pause while it thinks. So it's done. And inside this we have the AOC tar file, which is probably around the size of 500 megabyte, which is now done. So now we did that, we can, once we set the image, we can further inspect the image by unpacking the compressed files. We're going to do tar xf aoc.tar. Let's do that. So I'm going to do this command. I still need to do sudo. I keep forgetting that. And now we have some files unzipped, and now they want us to do this pretty print, it would seem, of this file. Let's see. Yes, cat manifest, and then pipe it through the pretty print. So I'm gonna do what they tell me to do. And what we get here is the manifest, which is telling us about some things, about the layers and repo tags and config stuff. And with this, they want us to note the first piece of information file is config, which represents the underlying configuration and commands of build container, which is true. So this is an actual JSON file. We can go ahead and look in if we want to do that. Yes, it is also located under, so we have it there as an actual configuration file, which is the same name. So we can output that instead. So let me just show what I'm talking about. Got an ls, this is the JSON file we're looking for. So what I can do is basically copy paste this, say cat that into JQ, and now we're getting a bit more information about what's going on. So let's scroll to the top and see we have an architecture from an AMD 64. We have some paths, we have an API key here, really good. We're setting up some different environment variables with the same API key again. Some different things happening, commands. Do I see anything interesting so far? I did not, I think so. I saw this some API key again. So the first section, manifest configuration file, walk through the final image configuration intended to run the container. But however, this section is of particular interest to an attacker. Here's how the container image was built. You can see each section broken up into curly braces, and some of the sections have an extra line indicating empty layer true. So that would seem true. So what are you going to tell us now? Each section of describing particular command run Darker Daemon. Enter their true configuration are listed. In the container also. Organize it. Manifest JSON file. Yes. Containers. Okay. So we can more closely inspect the layers by switching to the subdirectories representing the layers of unpacked container root directory. As a switch between the layers, one we notice a special interest, the config.hcl. So we need to find this particular layer. I would guess this is the same name. So this is the different layers we have. So if I do like this, I totally not odd at all. AOC, AOC, and I'm gonna suspect this is the actual layer name we're gonna enter. So let me just get this for I don't know. Nope. So it would seem that it was not. So let's just inspect things as we go. This is not the one. We know what we're gonna look for now. So let's just try that. So this is probably one of the ways you learn how to enumerate, folders. It does take some time. It's not that very funny, interesting at all. I must say that I'm not the biggest fan of these kind of things with all these new ways to do stuff. So what about that one? Nope. Maybe I'm just running through all the folders for you guys so you can see it. I don't know. So it would seem that none of this is actually working. So let's see. We would need to, we can more closely switching to subdirectory layers and unpack container directory. There's one layer of special interest. Do we really? So I haven't really noticed any special layer of interest, but we go to repositories. That is not a what is inside that? Okay. So it would seem that we have not found the correct layer. So I just paused the video for a second, scrolled up to see if I missed something. We executed the command. Let's try and do it with the verbose on. So let me just go back and say yes. So let's take the AOC again, and we have the AOC tar file. What I'm basically gonna do is say I'm gonna move from the AOC folder, the AOC to here, and I'm gonna go right ahead and say remove. I think this is gonna work. Let's do sudo. Now let's create the directory again. AOC, AOC, please. And then do AOC here, and then move from one behind the AOC.tar file to here, and now we have it. Let's execute this command in verbose, and we're getting all the different kind of sub layers here. And now we're gonna go ahead and find one particular interesting sublayer, and I think what I want us to do is to walk through all of them. This is the 44 one, yeah. So So basically that is a layer, so I could write, I could also open up a file explorer, to be honest, and just do let's see if I can do that. Oops. Can I not do that? Open folder. There we go. So I should be able to do something like, yeah. So all of these layers, I can open each one of them, and I could, in theory, go into every layer file and just scroll through all of this. And this is just a waste of a lot of time to do that. So what I think I should do, and I think this is by purpose, the first one that I opened, the layer tar, did have the config file, which I'm just gonna, I think I can, what's the extract here, and just say, yeah. Did they extract it to the temp library or something like that? Let's go ahead and have a look. Let's do like ls/temp. I'm not seeing it. So let's just take the, I think that was the first one, wasn't it? So it's called 2C06. This is why I just love Docker. 2C06, that is the one, that is the layer. I know this is taking far too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and unzip this particular tar file, and for some reason I'm too tired to remember this command, so we're just gonna use this lib command and say layer tar, and of course need sudo privileges, and inside of this we have our root directory. Really, let's try one more time. Interesting. So I have the root folder, which is there, but oh, I just pulled that out before when I extracted, didn't I? No, I did not. But it seems that extract to, what about just here? So I'm basically gonna copy this now because this is taking far too long. Clearing the screen, going to this folder, I have the layer tar. I should be able to unzip it, and I cannot. That is very irritating. Alright, so I think I'm gonna do the open this there. I want this file extract to desktop. Yes. Yes. Oh please, dear God, let me have it now. It's not really working for me today. It would seem that this room is making a prank with me. There's no config at all. Locate config. Was it HCL or something like that? No, it was nothing like that. Nothing at all. So let's just open. Oh, mamma mia. So basically just opened it. We're gonna scroll down, look through it all. It looks very interesting. And okay. Make this a bit bigger. Yes, we can. Locals, prefix, token. All right. So let's go ahead, by the way, and visit TryHackMe. Just try and answer some of the questions. I already wrote some of them down because I just couldn't help myself. I'm very sorry for that. But the two first questions is, of course, Docker images, Docker save, and the name containing all repository tags and stuff called manifest. And the last one is what is the token value we've. Oh yeah. So we just found that was. There we go. Yeah. So. Alright, so this room took far too long. I'm just gonna say that if I had things planned a bit better and had software installed, it could be shorter. However, this room was about Docker, how to use Docker images, how to download it, how to start it, how to view them, how to save, how to unzip a tar file, and so on. So if you like my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel and click the like button and comment below. Bye until next time.